Hello and welcome to today's episode of the Work at Home Rockstar Podcast. Very excited for today's episode. We have a female entrepreneur who is leading companies in higher learning during COVID-19. Very excited to be talking to Dr. Vanita Agarwal. Are you ready to rock?
Yes, Tim, thank you so much for inviting me on your podcast. It's a pleasure to be here.
Awesome, right on. So we always start off on a good note. So tell me a story of success in your business that we can be inspired by.
So, Tim, I'll start with that. As COVID 19, I was starting my business just prior to COVID 19. So, COVID 19 in India happened approx, in March 1st week. We were all being scared and were knowing about it. And I registered my company just in December 2019. So it was just a month back, and I was working with one investment banking firm, uh, dealing with their higher education merger and acquisition project. And the project had so many aspects and scope that I felt that I should be independently working on this project. And I launched my company, and soon, within 2 months, like COVID happened. And during my interactions with higher education leaders, what I found that COVID had all of a sudden shut down all the educational institutes, be it school or be it colleges or universities. And February being the month of the last semester of any year, and particularly business school students and university students who were looking for jobs and placements were being done in that particular month. It starts generally December to January to February, and March, April are the months of the examinations, final examinations. And all of the sudden, there was such a twist that every student was worried, and university leaders were worried that how it will happen now, because in India we were having education completely in offline mode. So there were hardly any online mode of learning, hardly any system to hold exams in online system, or to give results in online system. And students belong to every strata. There are rich student, there are poor student who do not even have a mobile phone to have some sort of online mode of learning. So that was very, very worrisome, and everybody was confused. Everybody was thinking what will happen next, when it will stop, when the next semester will start, or whatever will go. And when we interacted with college students, they said that many of their placements were withdrawn or dropped down because companies were also, taken by shock, and they were not in a position to call people to their workplaces. They reduced workforces. Some of the companies were shut down, and so on and so forth. So what we did, we started with the webinars, online webinars, where we called in college students, university students, business school students, and higher education leaders, and had a meeting, online meeting and conferences kind of format. And this ran so successful, our webinars, because we started very early. We started like in March itself, and we got students attending our webinars from Philippines, Nepal, India, UK, some from Canada itself, some from Australia. Uh, I cannot count the names, but 12 countries I could count in my analytics that these students were coming and getting insights from higher education leaders directly, that how they should plan their future now in this new condition. We also did a higher education virtual summit. And then I found, just doing webinars and online meetings is not enough. We need to do something more. So we started publishing our digital magazine by the name of Business Strategy e-magazine in July 2020. The idea was to these students who are still in final semester and are yet to join the corporate sector, why not to invite some management gurus and experts from international industries, and ask them to write something organic and give some knowledge to these students, that what actual condition take place at workplace, and how should they groom themselves into future leaders. And we had former chief HRO officer, HRO from World Bank, chief advisor from World Economic Forum. Then Professor Dave Ulrich, who is professor of University of Michigan, famous. He is known as father of modern HR. Then we had psychologist, HR person who was writing about how to manage psychological impacts at workplaces. For example, managing relationships. For example, managing different kind of equations while you're working from home, because working from home is also a new concept all of a sudden. So people need to tend, and there are so many factors, at home. If there is a family of four, say minimum, because in India there is a concept of joint family. So parents live with their married kids, and adult kids also live with their parents. So, minimum, if I say a family of four, where parents are there and two kids are there, everybody is busy with their online setup.
Yeah.
Parents at their workplaces and students on their online education. School took up online education very quickly. So like my son was in 11th class that time, and he was quickly on to online total school format 8 to 2, and complete timetable as they used to go into classrooms. So that was happening, and now people are saying that now I have to set up my quiet corner, because if like I am talking, I cannot have anybody else in the room, because he or she will be disturbed.
Yeah.
So this work from home concept was also completely new, and people were learning how to set it up in different corners of house without getting distracted from each other also. Leave apart the external sounds and external disturbances.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean. I've been working from home for a long time, and especially what you just said about these large families. Wow, like that would be so much more confusing to figure out. So
Right.
how did you solve it?
So we had some webinars, teaching our students how to go about it. In each webinar, I made it a point that we will be covering some part, that how can you reduce this noise factor and how can you seclude yourself, though being in the family setup. So we covered these parts in each of our webinars, so that our students are also getting some insights into working from home. Then we started this digital magazine, which was an instant hit. And last 2 months, I would say in April we started another service, which was a podcast service like yours. So where we did, we said, okay, management and industry professionals are coming, and they are kind enough to give articles. They are explaining various factors which takes place at the workplace. And when you are working in corporate and you joined as an executive, sometimes it takes about a decade to understand all these minute things. For example, point of differences, how to manage conflicts, how to lead a team, how to go with a team leader. So many things are there which sometimes you take about a decade to understand, and then you become an experienced professional. So we were giving that, but we said that why not to bring entrepreneurs and the real-time leaders onto the podcast and ask them to share their life journey with the audience. And I would say podcast idea was such a hit, massive hit. And I was not sure, because most of my connections were in Europe by that time. And I thought my podcast would be hit in Europe, because I have so many audience coming from there. Most of my writers were from Europe. But on the contrary, what I found, all my podcast audience and the analytics were showing that it is hit in US and Canada, a completely time zone from us. We are almost 12 hours apart. So if it is your day, it is night for me. If it is my day, it is night for you. And so we did 35 podcast episodes in only 2 months time, almost every alternate day.
Wow, that's amazing. Good job. And it sounds
Yeah.
like you really took the right approach to it.
So that's how it is going.
Good. So now, okay, you've done some really amazing things. Actually, a lot of what you said is pretty much the goal of what my podcast has been since 2015 when I started it, which was trying to give people the practical things about working from home, because that's the thing. I mean, you decide you want to start a home business, and a lot of the challenges that you have running a home business has nothing to do with anything you've ever experienced before. It is literally things like, how do I find enough space in my house? And, how do I make sure that I'm productive during my day? And, all these other things. How do I lead myself? But now on that journey, sometimes things don't go as planned. Sometimes you hit a bad note here and there. So I'm wondering, was there like a big mistake or failure that you made on that journey that you learned from, and how do we avoid it?
So I would tell you that while we were doing the webinars and M&A was taking a back seat, and we started this digital magazine, we also started a skill academy, online skill learning, the employable skill learning, because job scenario was going on a lower side, lower graph. So we said, why not to give some e-learning platform to students at a very low cost. And we floated some of the programs where we hired university professors only. So we needed to keep the quality up of the teachers. And cost of the program was very low. But I found, that did not took up very many of audience in the beginning. And reason I guess that first of all, there are many competitors in the market, and many very high profile competitors who can throw millions of dollars on marketing. Now, being working from home, I have limited budget. I have to constrict my marketing onto social media marketing and by word of mouth, whatever can go. So I feel that Skill Academy was a good idea, and I'm still going with it. But I should have calculated those costs versus the expense part to balance out the finance. And in the beginning, I needed to invest much more than what I invested. But
Okay.
now I'm in position, so I am in the process of rebooting it again, the Skill Academy. So now I'm in a position after setting up my podcast and the media company that I'm thinking of rebooting again with the revised costs and expenses. And I know that I need to invest more first.
Yeah. So what could you have done before? Was this just something that just had happened the way it happened, or could you have prepared better for it?
I could have, I think, prepared better because, as I said, now I am rebooting. So maybe by keeping a fixed budget that this would go into the marketing part of Skill Academy, this would have turned up better. So that calculation, that understanding of finance should be there.
Yeah.
You may consult your friend or a relation or hire a consultant to calculate those finance budgets and then go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, I mean, I guess the one other takeaway from there is that it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a bad idea if it doesn't really take off. Maybe there's
Yeah.
another reason why it didn't take off, right?
Because we had best of university professors in each of the skill learning program. We had tie up with them. They brought us best of the curricula with international standards, so that was in place. What was not in place was the marketing budget. So if I would have increased the marketing budget without thinking whether the students are coming or not, and would have waited for 6 to 8 months to market it first and then thought about the results, that would have been better.
Yeah.
So now we are in a position, to do that.
Yeah, love it. Okay, I'd like to talk a little bit more about the Jam Room. So, the home office is one of the most challenging things to get set up. And I think I would love to hear what you guys did, because, especially, I mean, here in North America, we typically, have our own family, but with the extended family, how do you manage to set up your home office so that, it can be productive with so many people in the house?
So first thing, virtual background is a big good thing on Zoom because that hides, I will show you by hiding my virtual background. Just give me 1 second. You will get to know what my background looks like. So this is my background. So this is my study room. You can see there is a small sofa. This is a window, and on the side is another study table, because this is full. This full room is a study room for 3 people, and now nobody else can share it because I am talking here. And this is
Ah,
a mic setup. This is a light setup. So this is
yeah. So for the people that are listening and you're not seeing the video, basically what's going on is that there's a multi-purpose room with really just a normal room, and if you've got multiple people that need to use that room for business with multiple different businesses, then you can use the Zoom backgrounds to put your own background there so that your particular meeting can be specific to you, and then their particular meetings can be specific to them, right?
to them. Plus it gives you the viewers also a look of business surrounding. First of all, it
Yeah,
gives you a professional surrounding, so the other person does not go beyond your what he is looking at you, so he doesn't try to go beyond in the room. First benefit is this, but I found it only on Zoom. I could not found it on Google Meet. Maybe it is there, but I rarely use Google Meet. So all the meeting platforms should have this feature of virtual background.
agree.
And secondly, home office, like in extended families, so you can find one nice corner, even if virtual background is not there, like you are having. So one nice corner where you can keep your laptop in front of you, or maybe a mobile, one light source which falls on your face. And today I'm using mic, but I use sometimes mostly these AirPods. Can you see? Yeah. AirPods or the wired AirPods. We
Oh,
started, I was not having this light source. So I was only working in the room light. And slowly we come to know about these things, and we purchased and we set up. Then simple earphones, wired earphones, which you get with your mobile, they are good enough for a simple meeting, online meeting, where you have a microphone and you have earphones. So
yep,
initially, I was only having this laptop and a earphone, wired earphone. That was about it.
yep,
But only so with a minimum cost, you can have your home office and a quiet corner where you can sit straight. And first thing is how you set your camera. Your camera should be such that your forehead and this portion below shoulders is there. So it should not be like this, that your fan is visible, or like this. So you have to set up your. You can keep your laptop on your center table, sit on the floor. Uh, that's not such an issue.
no, exactly. Yeah, so okay, so good. So make sure that you've got some a good background, or you can change your background using Zoom. And also make sure that you got some good lighting. Really, like as you said, I mean, when you're first getting started, you might not have the budget to go out and get some nice, you know, headphones and some, nice, expensive mic, but the iPhone, headphones are fine to start for sure. And then you can start to upgrade later on. That's awesome. So now what about the band? So, if you want to really, you can be a solopreneur and you can get so far. However, if you really want to build a business, then eventually you're probably going to need to start to surround yourself with some people that are going to get you somewhere. So tell me a little bit more about building a band for you.
So, like, we were always in higher education. We wanted to focus on higher education, basically educating students who are into colleges, universities, or joining jobs. So, our band was education at a higher level. So, corporate e-learning was there, and these skill programs were there, which can give them employability or self-sustaining businesses. So our focus was there. So when we designed digital magazine, we did not go with normal business magazine where we just uh, publish the latest news stories of industries or corporates or big leaders or autobiographies. We actually brought management and HR leaders to write organically, so that there is e-learning program through writing, through articles, and they were real factors. So our band was basically around education. And we use social media tools. So we have a Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, LinkedIn, then you have YouTube. All these handles are there, and we publish regularly our stories on those handles. Our website is there. Two websites are there. So one is around the higher education, which is Love Strategic, which was initially made, where all our three businesses are listed. So, and links to Business Strategy e-magazine also goes from Love Strategic website, and Career Counseling website also goes from there, and Skill Academy link also goes from there. So that's how we build it up.
So I got a question. So now you had mentioned that you've got some really high profile names of people that have come and done work with you. So how do you go about getting people, that of that high quality to help you with your business?
So one thing that I learned, Tim, was communication skills is very, very important in getting touch, particularly when you are not going or not traveling and you are not having offline meetings where you can, meet people from different fields. So best way was to be on a professional network like LinkedIn and keep searching for people who have interested profiles, try to get some rapport with them and connect with them, leave your requests, and maybe some people do respond, who find your work worthwhile and good. So
So
if my intentions are good and I am there for work, my sincerity is can be seen. It is transparent. So my sincerity towards my work and my request can be seen by the other person in the
yeah,
right perspective. They do respond kindly.
yeah. So I mean, you're saying that not everybody responded. So you really do need to approach multiple people. But what you said is build some rapport first. So I assume what does that mean? Like research the person that you're talking to, and how did you build
So,
rapport?
like LinkedIn, like you start building your professional profiles, and first you connect to those people who know you in person, and that chain builds up slowly. And there is a news feed feature in LinkedIn, uh, and you get to know, for example, if one of your first connection liked or commented on certain post, and that post you find interested, so you connect to the writer of that post, and that's how the chain goes.
Okay. Yeah.
And if
So
you
it's really
see,
organic. It's like you
it's
like
organic.
something. Yeah.
Yes, it's all because it doesn't help me if I just connect with XYZ any person. I have a very specific core area of working. So you will find that most of my professional connects are either in higher education. So they are vice chancellors, heads, or chairmen of some university or institute, professors of institutes, or they are like now I'm in media. So there are some journalists who are connected. I had Skill Academy, so I was launching bakery, I was launching digital marketing. So professors in that area are connected. Then I was doing podcasts, so some media personalities are connected, some content writers are connected, some graphic designers are connected. Then I was since I wanted to understand what e-learning programs can be given to students or executives. So I was connecting to HR leaders or vice presidents, your different CEOs, founders of different companies. So that's how. So I'm very specific about my connections. I do not have a very large number of connections, but whosoever there are are there for some reason.
Yeah. 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 They're all high quality and they're there because they actually do connect with you in some way,
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So now you mentioned a few different tools. I mean, we live in a great world when it comes to tools to get a business done. So, I mean, you mentioned Zoom already. You'd mentioned social media, things like LinkedIn. So, are there any other tools that are instrumental in the success that you have?
First thing, perseverance. Never lose hope. So business does not become success overnight. You need to work. You need to have patience. You need to think, what new can be done. So like for me, I was a professor in university. I was teaching electronics. I did a PhD in semiconductors, and to drift from there to merger and collaboration business, from there to e-learning, from there to digital media company, there is a drift, but you will find the axial focus is same: learning, education. uh, so thoughts keep on coming, and you want to develop something across that thought. Keep learning. First thing is keep upgrading your skills. It cannot happen that you can delegate each and everything to somebody else unless you have that kind of budget. So for example, me, I'm working on a very limited budget. I know I cannot hire more than 3 people in my company right now. Maybe later on I can have a big staff. So most of the work I do myself. So I have done digital marketing. I know graphic designing. I have learned through the process. I have learned, and you come to know free softwares. For example, Canva is there. For example, Poster My Wall is there. These two platforms for graphic designers designing I use. I take paid softwares also for the same in case I need some advanced features. Then you have for example, I'm doing magazine. So first I took Flip Snap, which is a very popular software. I purchased its license, but I found it's not that easy. It's not that convenient to put my magazine into a format. It's very hardworking to do that, and if I delegate that part to some graphic designer, he does not do it in the same way as I am thinking, the model that I am having. So sometimes you have to do lot many things in the beginning of your career. Later, once it is developed, you can delegate so that you are focusing on your business area. Then you can definitely, for example, you need a content writer. You cannot always depend upon the organic writers, like I am saying. So for example, some month I am having 6 articles from management experts or leaders, industry leaders, but next month I am only having 2. So how to fill up the magazine? I need to have content writer who writes quality articles for me and contemporary articles. And my choice is that there should not be any religious touch to the articles, because it's a purely business article magazine, and there should not be a political touch to it. These two are very controversial fields.
Yeah.
I keep these away. And our motto is, generally my business motto is, and I've traveled much in across the world, and what I found is that education is seamless, sports are seamless, culture is almost seamless. It's only the expression which is different. Problems are different, same. Workplaces problems are same. Women problems are same. Teenage problems are same. Solutions are almost similar. So that's why globalization is there. So I do not want to limit, into one particular strata.
Yeah.
It's seamless. It's worldwide, and it's universal for everyone. That's the motto.
Love it.
So we
So
want to keep it of any color.
yeah, exactly. You don't want to disqualify people just because they might believe something different when really there's so much that you have in common.
Yeah.
Right on. Okay, so it's time for your guest solo. So tell me all about what's exciting in your business right now.
Oh, it's very exciting. It keeps me busy 24 hours again. And I'm very happy that I actually started this media company. I happen to interact with so many different people from different corners of the world. There are so many learning things for myself also when I talk to these entrepreneurs and outliers in their fields. So many new things I also get to know. And in COVID-19, when we are confined to our homes, and months passes before I actually step out of my door in this lockdown periods, it gives me a feeling of freedom, that it's like I'm moving out of my home and interacting with people worldwide. So I'm very, very happy. And plus, my motto of inspiring youth is continuing.
Right on. So now, if we wanted to learn more, if we wanted to take one of your courses, how do we find that?
Yeah, so there is a website, www.business-strategy.in, and you can mail me at contact@business strategy.in. That's my email. You can contact me through email. You can look at my website. And there are social media handles by @BIZEMAT, BIZMAG.
Awesome. I'll put all that stuff in the show notes. Thank you so much, Dr. Vanita, for jamming out with me today. This has been a really, really good time.
Same for me. It had been exciting to talk to you. Thank you so much for inviting me, and have a safe day.
Yes.
Safe year ahead.
Yes, we all need to do that. To the listeners, make sure you subscribe, rate, and comment. We'll see you next time on the Work at Home Rockstar podcast.